Good evening, my name is Odie Hawkins, and once again, it is my privilege and pleasure to sit here and read some columns that I wrote for a newspaper called the African Times back in 1996, 1999, 96 and 99. And we've been having so much fun doing it. And the reception that I've been receiving, that we've been receiving, has been so heartwarming that I feel good about continuing to do this on Monday and Tuesday night, around about the same time. The columns focus on Africa because the paper I wrote for was owned by a Nigerian entrepreneur named Charles Anshan. The newspaper was called African Times, and it was a pretty good newspaper. I'm not saying because I wrote for it, but it was a pretty good newspaper all around. And as I've said in previous readings, we're looking for parallels in occurrences, things that happened then that seem to be happening now. This particular column I call Satirically Africa. Satirically Africa. Sometimes people, they fail to think about Africa in satirical terms. They fail to think about it in comical terms. I mean, there's a lot of comedy could be coming out of, let's say, African-American comedians who had taken the time to delve into African comedy. I know from having lived in Ghana that you look at some people with very dry, interesting senses of humor, as somebody first was telling me. So we don't have an African humor, we have an Ashanti humor. We have a Ga humor, we have an Ewe sense of humor. And if you go to North Africa, the Tunisian sense of what is funny is very different from the Moroccans and so forth and so on. So, see what you think. Dateline, the Egyptian Times, Abdul Rameses Sadat. This was 9/15/02. Finally, a group of prominent European and American archaeologists have determined that the pyramids and all of the other magnificent architectural wonders were actually constructed by Africans and not by extraterrestrials, as was formerly taught in many institutions of higher learning until yesterday night. Dateline, the Libyan Guardian, these are newspapers, Mohammed Saïd. President Quaddafi announced his intention to allow a limited immigration of European and American Christians, provided they were willing to settle in the southern sector of the country that they call the empty quarter. I think the name for it is Quaddafi. If they're willing to settle in the empty quarter and focus on cotton cultivation. Presently, 2,500 applicants are screened to make certain that the CIA has not infiltrated and compromised the program. Are you getting me?
I'm getting you.
Dateline, the Algerian Bulletin, Fuad Al-Fez. The radical members of the Algerian Party have petitioned their government to annex France. The leader of the Algerian Party, Bebe Bourguiba, suggests if Algeria was once considered a department of metropolitan France before the revolution, then why shouldn't France have the opportunity to be a part of Algeria? Thus far, the French government has declined to schedule a referendum on this matter, despite the clamor by many young French men and women who want to give it a go. Why not be there? Dateline, the Moroccan daily, Omar Khalif. The brilliant young playwright Satirically Adik, winner of the prestigious Hassan Award, has given Moroccans much to cheer about with her latest play, Othello. The story of a Moroccan warrior queen whose overwhelming jealousy is responsible for her eventual downfall. Mrs. Sadik's eloquent work has been offered for next season's Shakespeare Festival in Oxford, Mississippi. The odds makers are betting 2-1 that the play will not be mounted because of its controversial religious and racial themes. Othello is the story of an Ethiopian Jewish descent, and her lover is a prince from the English royal family. Dateline, the Western Sahara, Saïd bin Saïd. Two groups of guerrillas, pro and con, have clashed for the 81st time this month. During the course of the last engagement, a lengthy palaver was held to determine the reason for their ongoing conflict. It appears that none of the present combatants could recall the exact reason for their ongoing struggle. They don't know what they're fighting about. Dateline, the Malian Gazette of Othman Haq. Malian super entrepreneur Baba Futanga Dit Babani Sissoko, fresh from a multi-billion-dollar real estate buying spree in Miami, Florida, has offered to purchase Mauritania, Mali, Niger, Chad, and the Lower Sudan. He believes these Saharan belt lands can be regreened and developed with the use of solar energy. The government of the countries mentioned are seriously considered his proposition. One high-ranking Malian official says, if anyone can do it, Baba can do it. Dateline, the Horn of Africa. Haile Kebede, 4 of the greatest marathon runners in the history of track. Number 1 from Ethiopia, number 2 from Somalia, 3 from Djibouti, and 4 from Eritrea. They don't want their names printed. Have vowed to run until the countries in their region have stopped fighting each other forever. The route of their run is from the capital of Ethiopia to the capital of Somalia to Djibouti to Eritrea and back. Thousands of citizens in their respective countries are lining the route to cheer their efforts, and millions around the world are forming peace marathons in their honor. Dateline, the Lagos Sentinel, Peter Abiku, Ifayami Fela Mali Oshogbo, newly elected chairman of the West African Confederation, Senegal, Gambia, Guinea-Bissau, Guinea, Sierra Leone, Liberia, Cote d'Ivoire, Ghana, Togo, Benin, Nigeria, Cameroon, Equatorial Guinea, Gabon, and Angola has just confirmed application from Burkina Faso, Congo, Burundi, Uganda, Rwanda, Tanzania, Malawi, Zambia, and Kenya to join the Federation's ranks. During the course of the coming year, we hope to create the United States of Africa. Our aims are to pool our resources and help humanity out of the spiritual doldrums. Dateline, the Johannesburg News, John Ramaphosa, a semi-religious movement that calls itself Mandelism. Mandelism is sweeping across the southern part of Africa. Thousands of believers in South Africa, Lesotho, Swaziland, Botswana, Namibia, Zimbabwe, Zambia, Mozambique, and Malawi have sworn vows to stop lying, cheating, and stealing. Are you getting me?
I'm getting you.
Missionaries are currently on the move to America and Europe. They may not have much luck there.
In America.
Dateline, Madagascar today. T.T. Tanirana. Madagascar has almost completed the Madagascar to Mozambique bridge. Will once again link the island to the African mainland. People don't remember Madagascar used to be a part of continental Africa and it broke off way back in whatever age it was. Mm-hmm. The project started in 1990. It will cost $150 billion. It is, incidentally, being financed by Baba Futanga Dit Babani Sissoko, That boy all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Dateline, LA Now, Hawkins. Finally, seriously, remember Dr. Ali Masuri's The Africans? Well, once again, KCET does it when nobody else will. A fall season show entitled Wonders of the African World will be hosted by Henry Louis Gates Jr. It is well worth renewing your KCET subscription to check it out without a guilt trip perched on your shoulder. And I say to you once again, Mimba.
Woo! Okay, that was a whirlwind. Unexpected.
What I started doing in order to write the column was to check out a lot of African newspapers, especially North African newspapers.
Okay.
And the thing that really grabbed me was the invitation from Bourguiba in Algeria to annex France.
Yeah. At some points, I'm like, are you pulling my leg?
Yeah. But the funniest part about it, seriously, is that they had a lot of young French men and women agree to it.
Of course.
Things couldn't be worse. I mean,
yes.
That's a vibrant, up and coming society. We're tired of old France. Of course, it didn't happen, but
well, yes, young people are much more open-minded at times.
They go off and let's create a new planet somewhere, you know.
Well, Odie Hawkins, you really
I know. I'm
out of the box for sure.
I'm a little
out of the box for sure.
But wait a minute, hold on. You should. The publisher, when I handed him the piece, he's the kind of guy who puts his glasses on and.
Indeed.
The one that grabbed him was Othello.
Oh yes, okay.
Is that plagiarizing? I've never heard of an Othello. As a matter of fact, I've known a couple of Othellos. Except they just call themselves Othello.
Okay. Well, your newest book, your latest drop book, Quadrant Balls and Bright Moments, can be purchased on Amazon.com. You're still writing. I'm not sure what book you're writing now, but I know you are writing, I think, 2 books at the same time and researching. However, that's so much an Odie thing. And, you know, folks just type in Google search Odie Hawkins and enjoy your surprises. And with that,
all I can say to you, I've had my booster.
Miss, I've had mine too.